There's a cut trail around these waterfalls that the snowmobilers take to get around them, because the main part of the lake is a lot lower than this upper part of this Muskeg Creek that feeds this waterfall. And you gotta watch where you walk. Take one wrong step and you're down the side of the hill. This ain't for you, buddy. Muskeg Creek here, down to the lake, is probably a change in about 80 to 100 feet in elevation. There's a cut trail that swings way through the lake here and goes down that snowmobilers can get around and access. And some people use it to skid in old boats and leave them up in here so that they can access this creek. But these boats look like they haven't moved in many, many years. A lot of times old timers bring in these boats. You get going in the backcountry in northern Ontario, different lakes and stuff, and all of a sudden you'll come across boats and things, and sometimes the trees are growing around them. Because a lot of times these old timers, they bring these boats in, they leave them, and then they end up dying. Nobody knows the boat's here, and so they just sit here forever. Here's a good example. This one's got a permit sticker from expired in 2006 boat cache permit. So I'm gonna bet that fellow that brought this in here, he's no longer around. So I trailblazed in here with my 3-tier survival system, my gear, but I've moved it into my multicam setup. On my left side, in this small grenade pouch, I've got my headlamp and emergency whistle. Next to that is fire steel, and next to that are some protein energy bars. And the next pouch is my canteen with a metal cup. I wanted a dump pouch so that I could collect bark and things like that. So what I did is I added some paracord to the molly and then strapped the dump pouch as a dangler, and it works really well that way. So I'm kind of glad how that turned out. These are 2 pouches that I made from my daughter's cowboy boot when she was little. So that was my first attempt ever at making my own kit pouches, and they actually worked out. I'm quite impressed. So I carry my Baco Laplander in this one, and this is a BPS Knives bushcraft knife. This is great little knife, razor sharp. This pouch carries Chemlite, some bug spray. There is a lighter with some tinder in here, spoon, and a sharpener. So that's in that pouch there. The kind of larger butt pack pouch. So has my rain poncho, some cordage. There's my little grill in here if I want to use that. Some blaze orange hunting vest and some food. This small pouch has my water filtration bag, my Millbank bag, and some water purification tablets. And then also in here is my Leatherman. Another canteen pouch with a metal cup. And this pouch, I've got my 6-inch hemorrhage Israeli bandage, my cat tourniquet, and a set of Piranha trauma shears. Those trauma shears will just about cut through anything. So that's pretty important if you ever fall and get hung up and you got to cut a strap or something. I've had it happen in the past where I've tripped over a log and I was pinned with gear. Luckily I was able to undo my pack to get out of my predicament. In here, flashlight. And then next in this little pouch here, I've got my compass and a map. And on my left side, I have my ranger beads and then a carabiner to attach my gloves. On this belt, so this is a Condor padded belt and a Condor H harness. Now I'll put a link to the eBay store where I picked up the Condor H harness. The guy's got lots of Condor kit and gear, so maybe that might work for you as well. Works really well, it's nice and comfortable. And then this is a roll type belt which I took off of my British padded hip belt, so it's actually part of a British kit. So the roll type belt is nice because if you're wearing different sizes of clothing or you got to put a jacket on or a smock, you can quickly and easily adjust that with the roll type belt. So that works really well. Now it's really important when you're using load bearing equipment that you adjust your harness length so that your padded hip belt rides on top of your hips. You don't want it down lower. You want that weight sitting right on your hips because that is your body's natural pivot point. So you want that weight pivoting right there, and that allows for nice, easy movement when you gotta, scale over logs and terrain, and just for moving many miles, it actually prevents less fatigue and that on your hips. Also, I added, because I'm not using a knife on my front here, like as a horizontal carry, what I added is so this is a British MTP leg harness that normally they would either put a pouch on to carry extra kit or say to carry a pistol. So what I've done is attached my Becker BK7 to it, so it gives me a nice, comfortable, easy access way to carry my large knife. And it's sitting in a place where it's just really natural. Your arms are just kind of there. That's where the knife is. So it's really nice and easy to access. Now the BK7 normally comes with a great big kind of sheath. And these ones you can find on eBay. Just type in BK7 Kydex sheath, and there's some guys down there in the States that make them. I had picked this one up several years ago, and man, it's just bang, works awesome. Nice way to carry a BK7. pretty good. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this beautiful day. Thank you so much. Thank you. What an amazing day. What an amazing day. Well, I'm super stoked that you all could come with me on this adventure today. It's time for me to wrap up and head home. So me and the dogs, we got about 5 kilometers of pushing bush and grown over trail. So, but we'll make it out, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye now.